Hello, ladies and gentlemen. I am Samiti, all the way from Manchester, United Kingdom. I'm here to introduce to you Dr. Njakiri Damages.
Welcome to the show. My name is Dr. Damages. We are coming to you from the greatest city in the world.
New York City!
Yes, New York City is so great. That Pokemon Go game. Do you know the game? Has turned New Yorkers into zombies. Do you know the game? Yeah. You don't? You don't know the game?
I know it.
It's wonderful. Okay. The truth is that New Yorkers were zombies before. But the game now turned them into super zombies.
Yes, so...
You doubt me? Watch.
Look at this. There's a Vaporeon that spawned right there, so everyone's running.
There's a what there? Did you tell me you were
There's a Vaporeon.
That's funny.
I know the commissioner for police in New York City. Yeah. Bill Bratton. He said he doesn't understand this game and he's not laughing over it. Watch him.
But that craze is one of the stupidest ones that I've seen. Don't understand it. Don't intend to understand it. Has of no appeal to me. And at the same time, people are putting themselves at great risk, being lured into certain neighborhoods that they have no knowledge of that neighborhood, and subjecting themselves to potentially being victims of crime.
He said this is stupid game.
It is.
Poor old man. Old man. That's what happens when you get old. Now, for those who do not know, Pokemon game is a reality game that uses GPS and camera and clock on players' phone to project virtual creatures onto the real world. Virtual creatures onto... Wait a minute. Is it that not what they do at the convention of political parties in America? Yeah. That's what they do. These are virtual creatures. They make them look real. Project them into the... That's what they do. By the way, have you been following the conventions, the political party conventions? Oh, they are wonderful. This week, the U.S. Democratic Party convention started this week. Oh, yeah. The plan is to cast Hillary Clinton as the woman America must send forth to meet the world, now run by women like Angela Merkel of Germany, Theresa May of Little Britain, Grace Mugabe of Zimbabwe, and people like that. Who is the woman running Nigeria now? How come Buhari doesn't have a woman? What is going? Anyway. Now. Don't worry, my fellow Americans. Hillary will still remain the only one wearing pants amongst them. Yeah. Well, she's not. You're not going to catch her doing like this, shaking hand with the queen. No, things like that. Anyway, Hillary Clinton has picked her running mate. Finally, yeah. She chose Tim Kaine, a senior senator from Virginia.
Wonderful.
Now, it was just formality's sake. Okay. Her real running mate is Bill Clinton.
Really?
Oh, yeah. The way it has always been is that Bill Clinton will be running after some women and Hillary will be running after Bill. It's a kind of a Pokemon game reality thing. Of course, that was how Bill Clinton picked up Monica Lewinsky. Remember? And Hillary had to pick up the flack for not doing those things that Monica was doing for Bill. That's what people said. I don't know. Now, we hope that Hillary's party in Philadelphia will be as exciting as the party that Donald Trump threw last week in Cleveland, Ohio. Did you watch that? It was wonderful.
Yes.
Now, beside those speakers at the Republican Party convention who wanted Hillary Clinton locked up, and those who demanded that she should be executed for treason, beside those who came onto the pulpit and pooped like that, like this one. Now, beside that kiss that never was, the air kiss, remember the one I'm talking about, like this one.
Third appearance on this third.
Now, the speaker that stole the show was Melania Trump, the wife of the next president of the United States.
Yes.
Take note, Oh, yeah. She stole the show by stealing the speech that Michelle Obama gave in 2008. Watch.
You work hard for what you want in life, that your word is your bond, that you do what you say you're going to do.
My parents impressed on me the values that you work hard for what you want in life, that your word is your bond, and you do what you say and keep your promise.
I know. Now, kids, listen, kids. I'm not concerned about old people. Kids, let this be a lesson to you. Next time you are taking an exam, do not write on top of your paper that you wrote the answers yourself. Don't even put your name. Don't put your name because Mrs. Trump wouldn't have been in trouble if she had not come out to say, I wrote the speech myself with little help from people. You know? Or you think I'm making it up? Watch.
Your wife is going to get to speak to the delegates about you. Has she gone over the speech with you? Did you practice it on the plane?
I read once over it, and that's all, because I wrote it and with a little help as possible. So.
She said it. She said it. Now, you have to pity the woman. You have to pity the woman. In her country of birth, Slovenia, it is allowed to copy someone else's speech as long as the person is dead. The person must be dead, or the person must be the enemy of your husband. You know, we also found out that in her country, if you spend a semester in the university, you are allowed to claim that you are a graduate of that university. That was how she goes around, claiming that she graduated from the University of Slovenia. She said she studied architecture. Meanwhile, she only had one semester. Okay. I tell you, by the time they finish with America, the standard of education will be so low that those of you who failed GCE in Africa, you can come to America and in 6 months they give you a bachelor's degree. That's where we are going now. That's where we're going. You know, I blame the American media. You know, this whole scandal, it's their fault. If they had not lowered the standard of everything in America for the Trumps, they would have caught her copying long before this time. Yeah, long before she had this big stage where she spoke to 35 million Americans. I'll give you an example. In 2008, in an interview with People's Magazine, Ms. Trump said, and I quote, "First call 7 years ago, my husband brought forth on this continent a new chick conceived in Slovenia and dedicated to the proposition that all women are mesmerized equally by diamond." That's what she said. People should have caught her there, but they didn't. Anyway, forget about the Trumps and their wahala. How is life treating you? How is life treating you? You don't look happy. Are you happy? Tough? Now, if you think that life is hard where you live, try Venezuela. The people of Venezuela, the Hugo Chavez people, they are now crossing over into Colombia in search of food and medicine. Wow. I'm not. Look at the picture. Look at the picture. Look at them. Isn't that sad? I wonder what our hero Chavez did wrong. He must have done something wrong, you know, for his people to now go to neighboring countries in search of food. Talking about heroes who did wrong, Robert Mugabe of Zimbabwe this week fired back at the pastor who led the protest that shut down Zimbabwe for 2 weeks. Oh yeah, the man took on him. Watch.
Our warriors and those who believe in that way of living in our country, well, are not part of us.
Wow. Oh yeah. What? Yes. Those people who are pointing out what we are doing wrong are not part of us. That's what Mugabe said. If you are pointing out what is wrong, like keeping it real, pointing out what's wrong with Nigeria, you are not part of us. Now, our hero continued. Watch.
You can't urge people to adopt violent demonstrations as the way of life.
Did you hear what he said? As a man of God, the first sign that you are doing your job is when politicians are questioning if you're a man of God. Amen. If, on the other hand, you are dining and whining with politicians like this one, and this one, and this one, chances are that you are not doing your job, which is to take care of your flock. That's your job, nothing else. Now, the Zimbabwean pastor who led the protest against Mugabe last week landed in South Africa. Whoa. Yes. There are indications that he may be going on exile. Oh yeah, no, it's sad. This is what I know. There are two kinds of protesters in Africa. Those who are paid to protest, like these ones, and those who pay a price for protesting, like this one. Oh yeah, that's how it is. The good news for Africans all over the continent is that there is now an African passport. It's finally here, yeah. An African passport.
Passport Africa.
Africa, yeah. If you do not like how you are being treated in your country, just take your African passport and move. Zimbabwe, South Sudan, Chad, Somalia, anywhere you want to go.
Who wants to go to Nigeria?
No. We don't want people to. In fact, you can go to Biafra with African passport. Anywhere you want to go. Now, as for those of you who hope to convince the world that Africa is not a country, you can stop now. No, just forget about it. You know, like Robert Mugabe said, get another vocation. Because by the time you are carrying a passport that says Africa, you can't tell people that Africa is not a country. Chicken, that's it. That's the end of the argument. Now, last week I told you about Buhari meter. That is, this meter is used to determine how Buhari is doing, how he's fulfilling his campaign promises. And I told you that he fulfilled 1 out of 101. Well, another area that the meter has now come up with an answer is the area of corruption. The meter said initially that he was doing well, but that is coming to an end. Yeah, the way the president is handling the issue of military officers involved in the stealing of money meant to purchase arms to fight Boko Haram is undermining whatever achievement he has made in fighting corruption. I'm not the one saying this. The Sahara reporters is reporting this. And if it's there, Sahara, you know it's true. Yes. Now, Nigerians have one serious question. They are saying, why is it that there is no indictment of the chief of army staff? You know the guy? Yeah. And the interior minister, the General Dambazu. Yeah, Buratai and Dambazua, you know, whatever he calls himself. Why is it that there's no indictment? Yes, that's the question Nigerians are asking.
We need some answers.
Now, Lai Mohammed. Lai Mohammed said, he said the reason was that the probe has not reached the year when Dambazo was in active service. Oh yeah. As for Buratai, he said that though he was the procurement officer, he wasn't stand by the stealing. I say, Lai Mohammed. Imagine everyone around you were stealing money for arms purchase but except you, the man in charge of procurement. This is Nigerian wonder. Nigerian wonder. Now, Lai Mohammed. Mrs. Trump said this, and I quote, "You can fool some people sometimes, and you can fool some people all the time, but you can't fool all the people all the time." Tweet it out. And make sure it's Mrs. Trump that you quote. The real reason why Buratai and Dambazo were not indicted is that by indicting them, you will have confirmed that corruption has infiltrated and infested Buhari's government. That's the only reason. That is the only reason. Now,
Serious allegation.
the good news is that President Buhari is aware of what we are thinking. Last week, he came out swinging. He said in a statement that those accusing his ministers of corruption, and I quote, he said, "I don't think my ministers and my aides are corrupt. Those who have evidence should show it." Wasn't that the same thing that Jonathan used to say? Wasn't it that the same thing? That was the same thing. That was when he came up with the conclusion that stealing is not corruption. That's the same thing. You start arguing that, and then how did they say that? Once the premise of an argument is wrong, the conclusion will be wrong.
Yes.
That's it. Anyway, there are no surprises there. Buhari also said that Sani Abacha was not corrupt. Oh, you think I'm making it up? Here is the headline. Oh, yeah.
Wow.
He said it. Sani Abacha was not corrupt.
Wow.
Oh, yeah. So what do you expect? What do you expect from him? Anyway, some good news. Dino Malaye and Remi Tinubu are making out. Oh, no. Did I say making out? No. I mean, I want to say that they are making up. I almost had a heart attack, because that could happen. Anyway, so I tell you, it was a relief to people who wanted to deal with serious business of running Nigeria. Not spending time on two senators who have done nothing for poor masses.
Yes.
But before we let them go, let me show you what forced them to make up. Watch.
Somehow, she got falsehood sold to the Sahara reporters.
Oh yes. He said that was how the story came about, and Sahara picked it up. According to Dino, yeah. He then said that the impeachment angle was added to achieve what? What did he call it? Let's hear from the horse's mouth. Watch.
There wouldn't have been any need to even discuss the issue of Buhari or the presidency. But because of deliberate wickedness and satanic manifestations, they brought in the issue of presidency to garnish their aim and purpose.
Falsehood. That who are these people that added that? I see, this is the name. For those who say that Dino's career is finished, he has this answer for them. Watch.
Senator Tinubu, I'm talking of the husband of Senator Oluremi Tinubu, said, my political career has come to an end. I want to say that Tinubu is no God.
I know. He said Tinubu is not God. You know, Tinubu, let me tell you this. Dino is so brave that he went to Lagos to see the area boys who said he could not come to Lagos. Watch him. He was on Tinubu Street and was begging people, come and take on Dino. Nobody came out. I said, this thing is this. If the man was serious, he would have tweeted out that he was going there at this time, at this hour. Not go there when nobody is there and say, and tweet after you leave. Send out tweet and say, I'm coming on this day and this time. Wait for me. Nonsense. Now, I tell you, with Aisha Buhari suing Governor Ayo Fayose of Ekiti State, we need someone to entertain us. Else, we are going to die of our pain and suffering. Any chance that Dino will do that? They say any chance? Listen to him.
I am an ambitious person. I even want to be the president of the Federal Republic of Nigeria.
I know. Dino for president. Why not? Donald Trump can be, if Donald Trump can be president, why not Dino? That's what I'm saying. If it is not, it's the only Americans that should be having fun. And Nigerians should have fun. Let Dino run. Dino, run for president. Now, the only problem with Dino running for president is that when it's time for his wife to come out and make a speech, she may come out with blood dripping from her mouth and eyes and arms. I'm not making it up. That's how he treats his wife. Anyway, in corruption news, last week, the bastard of Egbaland, Doyin Okupe, you know him, revealed that he used 10 million out of 100 million he was given by Dasuki to furnish his apartment. I know, 10 million to furnish an apartment, you know. So the question is, what kind of apartment, what is that expensive in his apartment that will require him to use 10 million? Then you remember that his toilet seat had to be fortified. Because to be able to carry him.
That's cheap though.
It's to be able to carry him, he needs that fortified toilet seat. Now, the outrageous issue was that he was getting 10 million naira every month from Dasuki. Out of President Goodluck Jonathan's security vote. That's what he was getting. Now, my question is this. If a big, fat, low Aso-Rock staff, like Doyin Okupe, was getting 10 million every month from Jonathan's security vote, how much is that money? Yeah, because how much will you give Patience? If you give Doyin Okupe 10 million, how much will you give Stella? If you give that's the question. How much of that money will Dasuki keep? If you give Madeke and Ruben Abati. How much do you give to those people? You know? Yeah. It makes people should ask this question. Anyway, this is a segment we call Secrets of
Picture!
Yeah, it's based on the premise that a picture is worth more than 1,000.
Wow!
Good. The first picture you're looking at is the picture of our man, Dino, with Bukola Saraki. This was after the whole bulala about Tinubu's wife. They were discussing the plight, and Saraki said to Dino, Remi, Tinubu wants me to punish you. And Dino said, okay. And Saraki said, what kind of punishment do you want? And Dino answered, lock me up in a room with Remi. Terrible. Now, the next picture you're looking at is that of Buhari and the vice president. They were sitting down, Yoshibanjo welcoming or talking to the Olympics, the people going to Olympics for us. Yeah, they were just giving them words of advice. Olympic team. At one point, they were laughing, and people were wondering what is making them laugh like this. We got our camera and our video caught it. So what happened was that Buhari said to the vice president, since I can't travel abroad anymore, I want to send you to the Olympics. And the vice president said, to do what? Buhari said, to play basketball. You know that he can. I'm just saying. Here are some stories making headline news across Nigeria this week. Amechi embezzled 3 trillion naira during his 8 years as governor of Rivers State. This is Rivers State government saying this. They calculated, they did all the addition. 3 trillion. Now, to put it in context, that is half of our budget for this year. So you understand, I'm not making any judgment. I just want you to understand, My job is to help you. Remi Tinubu refuses closed-door meeting with Dino. She was very clear. She said, if he acts this way in the open, imagine what he would do when the door is closed. I don't blame her. Federal government has identified 1,000 dormant revenue lines, says the Minister of Finance. 1,000. I love the way everything in Nigeria is rounded up. When they kill terrorists, it's about 100, 200, 500. They don't give. Yeah, marriages 1,000, 10,000. Everything is rounded up. That tells you it's all fake. Anyway, Nigeria must be restructured, says Ekweremadu. I say, wow. This man has been deputy Senate president for 10 years or something, including the period that his party was in charge of the country. But he did not raise a finger to say, hey, let's restructure Nigeria. Once his behind is on fire, he remembers, the structure is bad. We must restructure Nigeria. Nonsense. We need 100,000 new lecturers for Nigerian universities, says ASU. Yeah, 100,000. Yeah. Now, I have one for them. ASU, I have one for you. His name is Professor Goodluck Jonathan. PhD. Professor Goodluck Jonathan. It sounds well, Don't you think? Don't you think? Nonsense. Help! My husband is always staring at other women. I pity the woman. My guess is that it must have been how he discovered you. I'm thinking, but unlike Mongo Park, who discovered River Niger and died in it, your husband is saying that River Niger is not enough for him. He wants to discover other rivers. You understand? That's. Somebody is now laughing here. I will tell you. Write me. I will tell you who is now laughing. It's time for your email.
Growing up in Kenya, my sister and I were very close. But like any sisters, we fought a lot. She always got new clothes, and I always got hand-me-downs. Now she's putting her children through school in Kenya. We still fight sometimes, especially when I send money for the kids. I tell her, buy some clothes for the younger one, and we both laugh.
With nearly 500,000 locations, our app and online, this is moving money for better.
It's time for your email. Tomato Juice. No uniform again. What happened? You see, people are writing me and saying I'm losing control of this show. I'm losing control of my practice. That very soon, Tomato Jaws will take over my practice. They think, what happened?
Doctor, is it possible for me to take over a show that says Dr. Damages? Do I look like a man?
That's a good one. Nobody told me this, but that's a good one. Nobody told me. Okay.
Nobody. Out of all your friends,
but we need to be professional. We are about to get a special patient
I promise.
who is coming here. If the patient comes here and you are not dressed professionally, they might walk away. You know, we need to show professional practice.
Okay, next time.
Okay, do we have emails?
Every day, doctor.
Okay, let's hear them, please.
Okay, our first email is from anonymous XXXXX who lives in the UK.
Wow.
And he writes.
How do you know that it's he if it's anonymous?
Doctor, if I tell you now how to kill you.
Okay,
Anonymous,
let's go.
Your secret is safe with me.
Okay.
He writes, Dear Dr. Damages, I'm still surprised no one talked about what is going on in Borno State.
Borno State.
Yes, Buhari chose to ignore and trust the lives of the IDPs on Governor Kashim.
Ooh.
He's a cheat. Lots of people are begging on the streets and dying due to lack of food, hygiene, lack of access to healthcare. And can you believe they are selling provisions and medications that belong to the IDPs for personal gain? I have spoken with the people that have been to some camps, and I have been to the Borno myself, but things are not getting any better.
Wow.
Please, doctor, can you reluctantly unravel what is going on with all these our leaders? Despite all the money and aids they are receiving, the situation is getting worse.
Oh, I'm so sorry to hear this. Thank you, my friend. Thank you, XXS. You know, a newspaper report said this week that Borno State governor is one of Buhari's favorite governors. So what do you expect? What matters now is that we cannot continue to wait for Buhari and all those people to make a change.
Yes. No.
They won't if we don't force them to do that.
Yes.
You know, we can by telling them point blank that what they are doing is no longer acceptable to us.
Yes. Utterly wrong.
Yeah. They will shape up the moment they see that we are serious. Yes. Otherwise, they will continue that way.
Of course. Why not?
Next.
Our second email is from Ayo Omotade.
Ayo in Abuja. That's my friend, you know.
That's your friend.
When that was long ago, you know. Let me not just go into the story. Go because we are running out of time. Yeah. It's a long story, but we used to hang out.
Dear Dr. Damages.
Yes.
Regarding Dino Marai and Remy Tinubu.
That guy again.
Why are you savoring about two fortunate people who are engaged in the promotion of their personal egos?
That's a good point.
In what way have they helped the people they represent?
That's a good point.
In what way have they contributed to the committees they are heading?
You know, I never thought about that.
How many bills have they affected?
That's good. That's a good question.
What are their achievements?
Nobody knows.
What are you guys worried about the way they feel? Let's just entertain ourselves by watching the event as they unfold. Because your situation remains the same. No light, no good roads, no jobs, no security, hunger everywhere. What do you think?
That's a good point. That's a good point. You know, you're right, my friend. You know, we need to move on to more important people. Like Ayo Farashe. or Charlie Boy.
Hey!
Do you guys know that Charlie Boy has been writing several letters to Buhari?
Oh, yeah.
Like no one's business. The guy is doing his best. But nobody's giving him credit. Hi, Charlie Boy. Next, Dele Mamadou, that one is...
Ruben Abati.
Nobody cares about those ones. Those are old cargoes.
Hey!
Next. Ruben's your friend. I'm sorry.
I have no comment. Our third email is from Samuel in the UK.
Samuel. Oh, yeah. Samuel. Sam. Yeah, Sam.
You know Samuel?
Sam. Yeah. We hang out with Sam all the time. Yeah.
All the time in the UK.
In the UK. When I go there. You know.
Used to go chocolates.
No. It was actually what he likes is fish and chips. You know, we used to eat that. Yeah.
And kebab.
Yeah. And I think we are going back there very soon. No, go ahead. What does he say?
Anyway. He writes, honestly, doctor, I'm not happy with you.
That's not the Samuel.
That's your friend.
That's not the Samuel I know.
No, it's not the Samuel.
That's not the Samuel I know.
I'm
Take
sure.
very well. Let me know. Go ahead.
You refuse to effectively diagnose our presidential candidates prior to the 2015 elections before we made our choice. We would have known that Buhari's much cherished integrity was a scam. we never knew that Buhari had issues with moral corruption. We would have known that he's suffering from chronic nepotism and double mouthism. We would have also known that he has inherited ailment of ethnic bigotry. As seen from the way he handled the menace of the rampage and Fulani herdsmen.
That's a good point.
Even Pastor Osinbajo has been infected with the lying and double mouthism. Lastly, please keep our searchlight and your searchlight on Kogi State. The governance there is an embarrassment.
Samuel.
Kogi State.
Samuel. Hey! Samuel, let me tell you. In the case of Kogi State, there is no hope.
Hey!
So if you are from that state, just resign and wait for the next election. We have tried everything. There is no hope. Now, about Buhari, let me tell you this. How did our elders put it? You need to chase away the hawk before you caution the chick. This is an inside program. You have to chase away the armed robbers outside before you talk to the thief you have inside. So that's how the thing is. Nobody ever promised that it will be la land, everything will be easy. The job of we the people does not stop when we vote. It continues. If you want to make them behave well, all of them, you have to continue to put pressure on them. That's how it is. Otherwise, they are human beings. And most of them are there is nobody and all this court. You know what I mean?
I know.
That's how it is, the way it is. So do something yourself.
Keep the pressure on.
Keep the pressure. That's the only way you can make them behave well. When they see all these billions and billions, their head goes. They go. That's it. They start talking differently. Anyway, that's all the time we have for emails. Please keep sending your emails to Dr. Damages at
gmail.com
and follow us on Twitter at
Dr. Damages.
Now, here is my concern for today. It's taken from the 149th second of the speech made by President George W. Bush in Dallas at the memorial of the police officers killed. I can't believe I'm quoting George Bush. No. But he said something very important. Watch.
Too often we judge other groups by their worst examples, while judging ourselves by our best intentions.
Wow.
Yeah, he said it. Too often we judge other groups by their worst examples, while judging ourselves by our best intentions.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
From Judge Bush?
Yeah. Nobody believed that Judge Bush could say something like that. It's amazing. Now, until next week, I'm Dr. Damages. I diagnose.
You heal yourself.
We need another nurse.
Yeah, exactly. We have to do something about this issue of the nurse not dressing professionally. I have a client that is coming. This is a very special client. Next week.
How about this?
A very special client coming. If I don't wear gloves when I'm talking to him, he won't even let me touch him. Special client.
How about this, doctor?
Kosi is coming. No, don't say that. Okay. Yeah.
How about he come wear my uniform? Because it seems like he wants to be the one in the uniform next to you. So let him come wear the uniform.
The male nurse.
Male nurses
a male nurse,
exactly.
American nurse.
They have male nurses.
Yeah.
Let's
That would be a good idea. Do you want to go to nursing school?
He's trying to take over the job.
You want to go to nursing school? We can send you to nursing.
No, let him come.
Yeah, maybe we train him. Thank you so much for watching. Please, I'm begging you, can you go and watch more? They asked me to do this, otherwise there won't be, things are hard. Watch more. In fact, there's somewhere I'm cooking a goose. Also subscribe to the Sahara YouTube account. What is the name of the account again? Anyway, subscribe. Whatever they say, subscribe. Click on it. Please. For me. Nice. Thank you.
Welcome to First View Luxury Hotel. At First View Luxury Hotel, we offer excellent service. Our rooms have all the necessary facilities to make your stay comfortable and memorable. You will also have access to internet service, breakfast, 24-hour power supply, full air condition, free international calls, free tire pumping service, and free car battery charge. So what are you waiting for? Quickly visit First View Luxury Hotel. We are located at number 1 Adeola off Raji Rasaki Road, First Estate, Amuwo, Odofin Stack, Lagos. For more information or reservation, please call us on 080-7578-7135 or 080-9990-0601. You can also take advantage of our online ongoing promo at www.firstviewhotel.com to make your reservation and payment for your favorite room, which attracts a discount rate. Please note, rooms are reserved based on first come, first serve. First View Luxury Hotel. Experience the home of comfort. They come.